If you were to ask me which two racecourses on the flat in Great Britain excite me the most, well, I would say York, and I'm a little bit biased because that is my home track. And I'd also give you Goodwood, where, of course, they hold that wonderful festival in August, sponsored by Qatar. But this week, all roads lead to that historic patch of ground that they call the Knavesmire, and the Ebor festival spread out over the next few days. I'm on my way up there tomorrow for the first day, and I'm now going to preview not one, not two, but the first four races on the card, culminating in the big one, of course, which is the Juddmonte International Stakes, a cracking Group 1. And I will say that if you canvassed most of the connoisseurs of racing in my country, you'd probably find out that a lot of them would say year in, year out, the Juddmonte is the best race run in this country. Now, whether that's the case this time around, it remains to be seen. More about that later. Let's first of all look at a sizzling sprint handicap to get us going. And I like here very much a horse called Pilgrim, trained by David Barron. Well, he did us an enormous favour, if you remember, at Royal Ascot when he won the Palace of Holyrood House handicap, beating a horse who I gave in the exacta. They were placed they were returned at 18-1 each of two. So it was a massive winning bet, that. And I think that Pilgrim is a horse very much on the up and up. This grey is a prolific winner. David Barron, don't underestimate him. He is in the evening of his training career, but my goodness, he can train sprinters. And I think this is another one that we need to follow. Pilgrim could be a group horse in the making. Now, race 2, the Acomb Stakes. The results of this probably will have a bearing on the betting for next year's 2,000 guineas. And Godolphin's horse here, Ruling Court, well, when he won at Sandown first time out, the bookies reacted quite favourably, and he is in elevated price for the 2,000 guineas of 2025, and he's bidding here to solidify those claims under William Buick for trainer Charlie Appleby. He is a beautiful individual, this by Justify. I think he can remain unbeaten. He's probably one of the best bets on the card. Race 3, the Great Voltigeur Stakes, Group 2, always been one of the recognised trials for the St Leger, remembering one of the greatest horses ever to run in England, and of course his greatest success was staged here at York. That's Voltigeur. But the Great Voltigeur should end up being a match-up between Aidan O'Brien's two runners, and they are Illinois and Los Angeles. Illinois runner-up in the Grand Prix de Paris when we last saw him. That was a couple of months ago. And then we have Los Angeles, beaten into third in the Derby, but he came out of that to win the Irish equivalent in the Gameist fashion. He's favourite for the St Leger. I think he can solidify his claims here under Ryan Moore. He's a gritty galloper, I will say that. He possibly doesn't have the flashiness and the panache of his stable companion City of Troy, or indeed of Illinois. But I think that Los Angeles can put together a grinding performance on a track that will suit, and I make him the one to go for in the Great Voltigeur. Now, last but not least, we come to the Juddmonte, 13 going to post, and yet we've got a horse here with Hollywood bets, City of Troy, who is an even money shot. So it is, if you back him and he wins, double your money. I'm not so sure that he is a double your money bet, really. Why are 12 horses taking him on? There's obviously plenty who think that he's vulnerable, and anyone who watched him win the Coral Eclipse Stakes last time will certainly have reservations. He didn't look quite the horse that he did when he won the Derby at Epsom. He had to work very hard for that. I think he can be beaten today. Alflela at the top of the numbers here. Number 1, Alflela, is a horse that I think can run above his price. He was a very good winner of the Sky Bet York Stakes here last time, and he's a horse I really do like. Madel Doom down there at the bottom of the numbers, trained by William Haggis, is another one to bear in mind. A good run in the Sussex Stakes, went second to Notable Speech, and William Haggis can do absolutely no wrong with his older horses, can he? But the one I'm going to go for here, Ambient Friendly. Of course, he was beaten into second by City of Troy in the Derby, and then he was beaten into third in the Irish Derby. But perhaps he doesn't stay. I think that's the key. He's back a furlong and a half on the distance ladder here for James Fanshawe and Rab Havlin. I think that can prove key. This is a very good horse. ambient friendly is my nap to take out the Judmont.